This video is one of the videos in the series about exploring and entering computing research pathways. Hi, I'm Susan Roger, and I'm going to talk to you about why do research? The slides for this video were developed by Kelly Shaw, a computer science professor at Williams College, and myself, Susan Roger, a computer science professor at Duke University. We created this video as part of the Computing Research Association's UR to PhD program. What is research? Well, research is about solving a problem that no one else has solved. You are the first person to solve the problem. That's exciting. The goal of research is to create new knowledge. That knowledge might help people in some way or help people in solving other problems. To do research, you have to think about and propose questions you want to investigate. These are questions that you don't know the answer to, but want to try to find out. Many times to answer these questions, you will design an experiment. That experiment will likely involve collecting data and then analyzing the data. When you analyze the data, you may get the result you proposed, or you may be surprised and get a result that you were not expecting. Either way, that is a result. That is, sometimes showing that you can't get a result is also a result. Sometimes your experiment will involve observing human participants. You would likely propose they would behave one way, and then your experiment would show you whether or not that was true. Again, there might be surprises. Research can sometimes involve applying knowledge in new ways. That is, why it is good to learn about what other people are doing in their research. You may be able to take a technique someone has done in a different area and apply it to your problem and get interesting results. I also want to mention that research can be frustrating. It can take a while sometimes to get a result, and sometimes you don't get the result you want. But then research can also be exhilarating when you do get that result. So exciting. So why should you do research? In doing research, you will learn and practice technical skills, software skills, and problem-solving skills. These are all skills that will give you greater confidence as you continue to work on open-ended questions, problems no one else has solved. Doing research will give you stronger preparation for industry internships and careers. You can discuss the research you did in interviews. Industry loves to hear you talk about projects you have worked on. Doing research many times, you are part of a team effort, and that will result in you having an increased sense of belonging in computing. Doing research is a trial run for you. It is a good way for you to see if you like research and if you like working on a specific computing topic. By doing research, you will also have a research advisor who knows you well and who can write recommendation or reference letters for you, for industry positions or for graduate school if you decide to pursue a PhD. Doing research gives you an idea of what graduate school may be like and prepares you for going to graduate school. You may be wondering, what is in it for you? That is, if you do research and get your PhD, how will that benefit you? With a PhD, you will get a higher salary than someone with a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. You'll also have more control over what you choose to work on. As a professor, I get to decide on what research projects I want to work on. And if you go to industry, a PhD might mean you get to decide on the direction the company will go and the problems they will work on. Also, with a PhD, you get the satisfaction that you are solving problems that no one else has solved, meaning you're contributing to scientific knowledge and you are a world expert on your research topic. For careers, a PhD opens a lot of doors. You can become a professor at a college or university and lead your own research group. Or you can go to an industry research lab or a government research position. You may also decide you want to apply knowledge you have learned and go to an industry development position where you're more involved in developing products. But there are still more opportunities. You could get involved with a startup company, maybe as it's just starting, and work with venture capitalists. They like working with people who have a PhD. Now, in addition to your career, you can be involved in professional leadership opportunities. You may organize and run a conference on your research topic, or be elected to a board for a professional organization on your research topic. You may decide to move up in administration or management and lead or help lead a company or university. And if you are an international student, getting a PhD may benefit you with potential visa or citizenship opportunities. There are so many opportunities and places you can go if you have a PhD in computing.
Okay, so you've decided you want to give research a try, but how do you do that? My name's Kelly Shaw, and I'm a professor of computer science at Williams College. And right now, we're going to talk a little bit about how you go about finding opportunities to get involved in research. Now, we are going to discuss formal programs and informal ways of finding out about research opportunities. Right now, I'm going to talk about potential programs at your university or ways to find out about opportunities at your university or college. And we will talk about national programs in a little bit. Okay, so first of all, in order to find out about research opportunities at your college or university, you want to start looking for announcements and calls for students to participate in research activities. So there could be, for example, many schools have a summer research program. And so there are announcements about research opportunities and funding for the summer. Other schools may have research opportunities during the academic year. There might be specific programs where you sign up for courses to do research. So you want to look for those sorts of opportunities, potentially even flyers in your department, as well as if there's a daily message board for your college or university geared towards students, look there. Another place to look is to go to departmental talks about research opportunities. Often departments will run one of these sessions either at the beginning of a term, so for example, at the beginning of the fall semester or at the beginning of the spring semester, where they talk about the different ways you can get involved in research and potentially have faculty members very quickly present what they're looking for students to help them with on research, what topics they're looking to have students investigate. Another great way to find out about research is to attend your department's research poster event, which often happens at the end of the year. There may also be student research presentations that go along with that at the end of the year. And that gives you an opportunity to talk to those students about research, as well as the faculty members who are at those events. And typically those programs may also provide information about ways to get involved in research. Another resource on your campus would be the Undergraduate Research Center or Career Center. So this type of department on campus can help you in multiple ways. So they might have listings of research opportunities on campus or research opportunities off campus that they can help you look through. Additionally, they can help you with giving you advice on preparing your application materials. So oftentimes, formal programs will have you write an essay about why you're interested in research and what specific areas of research you're interested in, as well as, looking at your resume or providing a resume for an opportunity. So the Career Center or Undergraduate Research Center should be able to help you prepare those materials. Another thing you should look for and ask about in your department and also at the Career Center and elsewhere is whether or not there are funding opportunities from the university or college that potentially could fund an opportunity that you find on campus, or that might fund an external research internship that you find. So some colleges and universities have funding that you apply for that will actually pay you a stipend for you to participate in a research opportunity at another institution. So maybe at a company, maybe at a nonprofit, maybe at another academic institution. So you should look into whether or not those opportunities exist as well. Now, there are also informal ways to find out about research. And so I want to encourage you to try all of these different routes. So one way to find out about research at your institution is to talk to the faculty members you've taken a class with and ask them about how a student gets involved in undergraduate research. They might be able to suggest specific faculty members who have research programs that they're looking for undergraduate students to work with. They might also be able to tell you about programs that are run in the department or college-wide, or they might be able to tell you about an opportunity in their lab, for example. If you've taken a class from a faculty member where you worked on a final project that was a research project, you should talk to that faculty member about potentially continuing that work as an independent study. After the course, if you're still interested in that project and you see that there are opportunities for it to continue to evolve and produce results. Another thing you can do is to look at faculty web pages for their research interests. And if you find a faculty member whose research interests align with yours, maybe skim one of their papers and then email that faculty member for a meeting to discuss whether or not there are any research opportunities in their lab. You can also attend talks given by either faculty members or students about research to learn about the research that is being done by faculty members and their groups. And then if that sounds interesting to you, then you can go ahead and email the faculty member to see if there are any opportunities in their group. And then you should always use your peers as a resource. So you can and should ask your fellow students for advice who have, if they've already done research on campus. They can tell you how they got started, whether or not they know of any opportunities that exist, and just give you general advice on how to get started. Now, if you are not currently a student enrolled at a university or college, that doesn't mean you can't look into opportunities at universities. So one approach you can take is if you have a university or college that's relatively close to you geographically, you could look through the web pages for faculty members at that institution and see if anyone's research aligns with your interests, and then reach out to that faculty member to see if they have any research opportunities available in their lab. They might be willing to have you work on a project with them. Now, it might be that you're doing this volunteer, so you're not getting paid or any course credit, but if you want to try out undergraduate research and you're really excited about this, this is a way to go ahead and find an opportunity and maybe make an opportunity where one didn't necessarily exist before. Another thing you can do is you could contact faculty members at whatever undergraduate institution you went to. So those faculty members might be able to suggest individuals to reach out to who might be willing to offer a virtual research experience, or they themselves might be willing to offer you a virtual research experience. Again, this may be volunteer on your part, but they may also have funds. It just depends. And it also depends on what you're able to accept and what you're able to participate in. But those are ways that you can still participate in research opportunities even when you're not in school right now. And we've seen this for example, students who have worked in industry and decided to go back to get their PhD. We've seen them do this, engage in research at a local institution. So it's definitely a path to consider. Now, when you reach out to faculty members, there are a couple things you want to keep in mind. So before you contact a faculty member about research opportunities that they might have in their group, you want to be informed about what their research is. So you want to read their webpage and perhaps skim one of their papers that most interests you. And you want to look to see if they have any instructions on their webpage about contacting them for research opportunities. So some faculty members will indicate that you should read a paper and send them a question related to the paper. Others may have a problem they want you to solve before you reach out to them. So really read their webpage, scour it to see what their directions are, and make sure to follow those directions. When you reach out to the faculty member in an email, you really want to convey your interest in their work and your knowledge about their work. Say you've read, which paper, right? And then you also want to convey your experience or skills that you think might be valuable in their research, right? So if you have taken an advanced course in the topic that they're doing their research in, then you want to mention that. If you have specific, for example, software development skills that you think would be helpful in their research, mention that in your email. But make sure to keep your email short and to the point. Faculty members are busy. They get a lot of emails and they want to be able to quickly skim an email, perhaps on their phone, and know whether or not they want to answer it. Okay? And this is key. Don't get discouraged if some faculty members don't respond to your emails. Like I said, faculty members are busy. We don't all, even as students, we don't respond to all of our emails. So it happens. And, try and reach out to folks. And if they don't respond, then try and find another path forward. If you've already graduated with an undergraduate degree in computer science or another computing field, and you're out in the working world, you can still engage in research if it's calling to you, right? If you are interested in learning more about research, then there are ways for you to get involved. So let's talk about those opportunities. So one approach is to volunteer in a faculty member's research laboratory to gain experience, right? So how could you find a faculty member to work with? Well, if you're in an area geographically where there's a university or a college, you can look at the web pages of faculty members at that school to see if there are any who have research interests that align with your interests, and reach out to them to find out if there are any research opportunities. Another approach you could take is to contact faculty members at your undergraduate institution and ask them if they can suggest any faculty members to reach out to in order to have a virtual research experience, right? So ask them for faculty members who do work in the area that you're interested in, and maybe ask them for an introduction if they're willing to do that, and then look into the possibility of working remotely on a research project with that faculty member. We all know how to work remotely now, so research opportunities can be remote as well. Now, another approach you can take to get involved in research is to just dive in and say, I want to go to a PhD program, so I'm just going to apply, and I'm going to leverage the professional experiences I've had in the working world, and I'm also going to highlight the characteristics and skills that I have that are traits that faculty members look for in their graduate students. So traits that will translate well into doing research. So what are some professional experiences that you might be able to leverage? Well, if you've done any project initiation or design and completion, those are all really tangible skills and experiences that are key to research, right? You need to start projects, design them, and get them finished. Now, you may have also had the opportunity to research technical solutions for a problem that you're working on at work. So that's another thing you could talk about in your essays for your PhD application. So you have experience exploring research topics and implementing them. Now, what are some characteristics that generally faculty members look for in candidates for graduate school? Well, they're looking for creativity. They're looking for self-motivation and independence. They want you to be able to work independently, but they also want you to be able to work collaboratively, of course, because research is very collaborative. Resilience. You need to be able to try something, fail, learn from it, and then try again. That's really what research is about. It's that setting up a really well-defined problem, experiment, trying it out, learning from it when it doesn't work as you had hoped, and then coming up with what the next step is. And also leadership.
opportunities or leadership skills those are also valuable traits for students who are pursuing graduate study in a PhD program. Now, along that line, there is a program that is run by the National Science Foundation called CS Grad for US, which is a fellowship program. Now, this is only open to domestic students. Okay, so US domestic students. And this program, you apply to it, and if you're accepted, it provides you with 1 year of mentoring to help you through the PhD admission process. So there's both group mentoring and also individual coaching to help prepare your materials and figure out what schools to apply to. And then it also comes with 3 years of funding for your PhD in a SCIES program, where SCIES is computing and information systems and engineering, I believe. But so there's a limit as to where this applies to, but it's many areas of computer science, including data science and, traditional computer science.